Happening, guys? It is another day on the channel. It's been a long time since I filmed and stuff. I know I've been going through some stuff with outside things, job, life, friends, house, stuff like that. So I haven't been filming, haven't been doing very much of anything. I've probably pretty much just going to work, coming home, sitting down, doing nothing. I've been very stressed, but the 180 is inside still. This thing, we need to take it apart again because I probably didn't put something together right. Maybe this week I'll come here and I'll pull the motor out and we'll see what's going on with it. It caught on fire. As you guys remember, I went to the drift event, didn't really film there, wasn't good vantage points, so we didn't film. I could throw up a couple clips maybe at the end of this that we did there, but it did catch on fire. So this whole side of the motor was on fire, burned up some lines. This stuff here caught on fire. This wasn't on fire, but it was pretty close to here. I don't really know what happened, but there was no oil in it. I don't see a hole in the side of the block, but I haven't taken that many parts off it, so we don't really know yet. But when we pull it out, we'll see if there's a hole. If there is a hole, then maybe bye-bye SR, and we'll put something else into here. Not an LS, not that. It's not going in here. It's got to stay JDM. And if there isn't a hole, then we're just going to build this motor and then put it back in. But that's going to be a long process. What we're actually doing today is we're going to pull the head off the Miata because the Miata needs a new head gasket because it keeps overheating. And we're going to send the head off, get it decked, make sure that our block is flat still and all that stuff. If the block needs to come out, then that car is down for a while as well. And we're going to have to do something with that. But yeah. This thing here, we need to take it apart. We need to take apart the Miata. The truck is in running condition now. I had a problem with that. I could throw a video up of that later. I have footage of that. But other than that, just been doing a whole lot of nothing, trying to plan the rest of my life out. And let's go ahead, do a little rearranging right here, and rearrange some of this stuff, and then we'll get the Miata in, and we'll take the head off it. Okay, 180's here. Miata's here now. So we're going to pull the head off of this because I think it's warped and I want to check it and put a better head gasket in it because it's just a factory one that you get from AutoZone with the regular gaskets and everything. We still need to continue to work on this thing because I need more parts for it. There is something that I have for this that should be in the center console here. I think I put it in here. Yeah, right here. So this is the variable TPS for it that we're going to eventually put on. This big one has to come off, and then this one goes onto there. It has the same 3-pin connector and everything. You get these off of BMWs. So you can put this one onto there, and then we'll have a variable TPS so that when we get the Mega Squirt for this, we'll be able to tune it. I need to get a Mega Squirt again because I sold mine to my friend when this thing wasn't running. The rest of it is pretty okay. We need to get the head off it, though, which is the biggest thing. So we're going to go, should I? I think I am. We're going to do a compression check first, and then we're going to start taking the head off, and we're going to start disassembling some of this. Once we get this Mega Squirt, this stupid box can go away, and then we're going to be able to run a metal pipe for the intake, and we'll put it like into the front bumper or something like that. We'll have it run some weird way. We'll do some other stuff with it, and should be back to running pretty clean in no time, and it's gonna be pretty sick. We need some gauges, we need some other stuff. If anybody's out there, West Palm area, got an airflow, AFR gauge, coolant temp gauge, oil pressure, let me know, with the harnesses and everything. I don't want like just a gauge. I need the harness, everything to go to the ECU. Just let me know, I'll come by, pick it up, and yeah. So let's go ahead, do the compressor check, and then we'll be right back. Okay, so 10 minutes in, we already ran into a problem. Number one spark plug won't come out. It's kind of stripped in there. Don't know what happened. I have the right socket on here. Pittsburgh though, 5/8 socket. Fit onto the rest of them, got all the rest of them out. I don't know what's going on. So we're just gonna go 2, 3, 4, see what the compression is on those and go from there. We'll get that spark plug out once we have the head off and we can snap the porcelain off it and we can drop a strip bolt socket into there and take it off that way. We'll figure out how to do that. But yeah, let's do this compression test now. So we got like 140, 145 on cylinder 2. That's good. Cylinder number 3 is like 155, 160. Okay, so cylinder 4 is 150. Sadly, we can't do cylinder 1, but we're going to start tearing this thing apart now. All of the compression is good, so it doesn't seem like anything happened. Okay, so instead of trying to pull the head off, I got some friends here, and they're like, is the thermostat stuck? And I was like, I don't really know. So we took the thermostat out. We're going to see if that fixes it. Hopefully it doesn't, and I can just start ripping this thing. Maybe we'll do some burnouts tonight.
That's how we should test it.
Right? But we took this out. It was super rusty. It's over here. And this thing was garbage. I never changed this, actually. This is one part that I never changed with the whole rebuild. So super rusty on the backside here. The previous owner only ran water in it, so it's probably seized. So we're going to throw that thing away because, you know, this thing doesn't run one either. And we're just going to send it, see what happens. If it still overheats, we got a big problem, and there's other stuff that we could do. So I'm probably just going to get I might get a Haltech, I might get a Link, I might get a Mega Square. I don't really know. I'm going to try to find one that's cheap enough so that I can afford it and to get that. And we'll go with that. We're going to get some gauges so we can have some more accurate things. And then we'll continue from there. But let's go ahead, seal this thing back up and see what we got. Okay, so this has been sitting, and we're going to put coolant in it now, and then we're going to start it up and see what happens with this. We've been working on this now. I took the intake pipe off of this side. We're taking out the spark plugs on this. We're going to do a compression check on this. I have some oil around here somewhere. I think it's on the other side of the car over there. We're going to put some oil back in it, and we're going to crank it and see if it has compression. Got to take this off. There. Now you just pop all of these things off. So now there's going to be no injector fire, so we don't cause another fire. And then we have to use this fire extinguisher, which is on the Miata, and it's very tight on there. But yeah, we're going to do that, see what happens. I think something's wrong with the inside of the motor, but these guys don't think so. So we'll find out in a couple of minutes. Okay, so somebody forgot to film. I put it on Snapchat, but we just did a little skid in this thing. Temps are still good, pretty centered. This is where my other Miata in Connecticut used to be, pretty centered. So I think that fixed our problem. I think it was just a thermostat the whole time. Check engine lights on, probably because it doesn't have a wideband on it and it's got cams in it. So yeah, that's probably that problem. But we're gonna do the compression check on the 180 right now, and then we're going to bring this thing back in, and we're gonna lower the rear, raise the front up a little bit, and then I might drive this thing home tonight. Okay, so we're doing a compression check now on this. We're gonna bring that in after we do this, if this isn't good, and we're gonna see what's happening. We're doing cylinder 1. All these spark plugs actually came out, unlike that thing out there. We're gonna have that thing running, driving. We're gonna register it. Should have it by next weekend. And yeah, so let's go ahead, prime this thing up, see what happens. Okay, that's a good sign. So let's go ahead and hit this now. Okay, and after that, yeah, 0 compression in cylinder 1. That's sick. So let's do cylinder 2 now. So I blew the rings out of it, which is kind of what I thought. I thought something was going to go bad inside, so. Because, you know, there's a puddle of oil on the intake plenum here, and that's never supposed to happen. Okay, I'm going to hit it again. Okay, cylinder 2 is okay.
Like 170.
Yep, that one's okay. Cylinder 1 just blew out. There has been a problem with cylinder 1 for a long time now, and I guess it just finally took a S and just blew out on me. There could be other problems with it, but yeah, I knew something was going on with it. It probably blew out the rings, but I don't really know. We got to take it apart to see what's going on with it. Good? Yeah. Cylinder 3 is good. Yeah.
There's been a problem with cylinder 1 rings on these?
No, there's been a problem with the injector. And like at high RPMs, it was laggy or something like that. I forgot exactly what happened. No, it wouldn't lean out. It would just like the cylinder would go dead. Okay. Last cylinder. So, yep. Cylinder 1's blown, and we got to pull the motor. We'll probably do that next weekend and start yanking it apart, see what's going on with it. This thing will not be running for a long time, guys. I guess we could do cylinder 1 again just to show and make sure. But yeah, this won't be running for a very long time because this motor is getting sent to a machine shop this time. I'm not taking it apart. It's going to be, I'm taking it apart, bringing it to the machine shop, guys, and it's getting brought back to me as a full long block. They're going to put the head on. They're going to torque the head. They're doing everything inside, and all I'm doing is putting a valve cover, the intake plenum on, the oil pan on, and that's it. I'm not doing anything with this thing anymore. I keep spending money on it, and it keeps blowing up, so not cool with that. So let's go ahead and see last cylinder here. Nothing. So just free spinning there. I hope the crank is good, but I don't know. I mean, we'll see when we tear it all apart.
I just assemble.
Yeah. Hopefully the cylinder can be honed.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We might need a new block. If it needs a new block, it's going to be a even longer time because then we're building something completely different. So
More displacement.
yeah, just put it that way. So let's go ahead and bring the Miata in now and adjust the suspension. Okay, so the rear is sunk right now. The front we raised up, which is good. I might eventually raise it back, lower it back down, but for right now I'm cool with it. I kind of want the tire to touch the fender, but later on. We raised it now, so if I do get into like some drift stuff, it won't hit the fender anymore. But this thing's good, and we are ready to roll. We can drive it now, and we'll see how it runs. This thing, on the other hand, will not be running for a long time, but we'll figure some stuff out. We're going to do some pricing on some certain stuff for this motor, everything to fix this, and then everything to buy for a whole nother setup. So we'll see how much that's going to be and do the difference on it all and see what it's about. But yeah, this thing's sad. I scratched the poop out of it too on the side here, taking this piece of junk out. Didn't care about this thing. It's got a huge scratch on the side now, but yeah, sad about that. We'll figure all this stuff out though, guys. We're gonna like do the entire setup all over, like new intercooler, new oil cooler. The power steering cooler could probably stay because that's not too old. Hot sides getting changed, changing all the pulleys and all the belts, probably getting a new alternator, redoing some of the lines and stuff like that, getting a different swirl pot for the power steering, getting a different coolant overflow, getting a different radiator, clutch, beefing up the rear end, taking the rear subframe out and doing the whole rear end over again, front subframe and everything. This thing's going to be a shell and then put back together to a running, driving car. So it's going to be pretty gnarly, and hopefully you guys want to stay around for it. The big thing that I want to start doing though, guys, I definitely want to start dropping some merchandise. I want to start off with some stickers, so I'm going to try to get that in the works and see what we could do with that. And that'll help out with the funds for this. If you guys want to get some of that stuff, it'll just help so that we can build these cars quicker. And we're going to move on to bigger and better projects. I still got this 5.3 in the corner over there that's waiting for his chassis to go into. So, yeah. But that's about it for today. If you guys liked the video, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, comment, share, do all the good stuff. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Later.